Hello and welcome back to the channel everyone. Hope you all are well and you had a nice holiday. I am back with another video, and in this one I'll run you through my team selection for game week 18. I'll show you my picks and what are the transfers I'm intending to make, and if I'm intending to hold the transfers. I'll discuss that in this video. Meanwhile, if you have not subscribed to the channel already, please do that and help me reach 700 subs sooner. So without further ado, let's just kick things off. So yeah, starting with the goalkeepers once again. I've got Ederson in goal. I did a last minute change and brought in Ederson, and the reason was that there were some predicted lineups that actually said that Walker might not feature, and I was pretty confused with, as I didn't go with Cancelo, I was confused who to bring in, either Akanji or Walker. So in the last moments, I thought let's just go with Ederson, who's at least a guaranteed starter. Now, if Cancelo starts returning those clean sheet points, I might at least enjoy that. And if there are attacking returns, obviously that would hurt me, but I have other defenders to cover that. Now, specifically talking about Cancelo, obviously City is still yet to play. I think they are a defensive solid side. Obviously, they have not been keeping a lot of clean sheets in the previous few games. But when it comes to Man City, what the general idea is that they would keep a lot of clean sheets. That is what they have been doing since past few seasons, and that is one case why I had to go for Ederson. You can call that a FOMO because I did not have Cancelo, but I wanted to cover those clean sheets if there were any. Now, for now, I've gone with Ederson, who faces Everton at home, and I'm gonna play him over Cap. Obviously, we were going to see Chelsea today. We're going to assess how they look defensively, and things would really depend upon that if I have to play Kepa or Ederson. But right now, I'm leaning towards Ederson because of Manchester City's better defense. So yeah, this would be my goalkeeper, and obviously Kepa would stay on the bench. Now let's look at the defenders. I've obviously got Ben White against Brighton. Now Arsenal did end up losing the clean sheet in the previous game, but overall they were defensively pretty alright. I mean, there were some shaky moments in the game, but I think they are getting better and better defensively. Obviously their attack is top notch. They have been getting better with time. They conceded a goal, and then there was some magic in the stadium, and it felt like the Arsenal has completely evolved, and they kept on moving forward, and at the time there was a time where they could have scored 4 goals, but the game ended up at 3-1. All the attack looked pretty well. And as for Ben White, I personally think in a couple of games where where the opponent is not pretty tough, we might see some clean sheets from Ben White in that case. So that is one reason why I would retain Ben White, and I have him in the playing 11. Now, looking at the bench, I've obviously got Dalot. If he is fit, he's obviously not fit for now. He's 50%. Now, if he's fit, I might do a punt and bring him in, and play him in that game week 18. But right now, I'm gonna lean with Ben White. Now, obviously, Trippier stays in. He's one of those players who is usually among the attacking returns. He did get the attacking return in the previous game too. If we can see, Newcastle has evolved defensively. They are keeping a lot of clean sheets, and they are expected to keep a lot of clean sheets in the coming games, as they look like a proper side that is fighting for that top 4, and they are going to play the Champions League next season. That is what I have concluded for now. But they are a top-notch side. They've got a good defense, they've got a good goalkeeper. Obviously, not everyone is top-notch in their team, but their chemistry, their style of play is really inspiring. Now we look at Reece James. Hopefully Reece James starts today. There are rumors that he might not start in the this game week. If he doesn't, I've got probably Bueno coming in with 1 point, and that is pretty sad. But hopefully James plays. I would hold him for the double game weeks that are coming up, even if he doesn't play today. That would be my advice, to hold him. But let's see if he doesn't play today. We were going to assess him against Nottingham Forest, and with a player like James, we know the attacking returns are usually there in the game. He is pretty involved going ahead defensively too. So yeah, James would be someone I'd retain until the double fixtures have passed for Chelsea. And obviously, I've already talked about Dalot and Bueno. If Bueno would, he might not feature in the next game due to Nuri, who scored a goal, but he's just a bench filler, and he would stay on the bench. I would definitely switch my bench in sequence once I'm about to lock my team in. Now we look at the midfielders. There are the 4 midfielders that I currently have. Rashford is yet to play, but he was in brilliant form in the World Cup, and before that too, he looked pretty alright. And now he faces Wolves at away and in game week 18, and we're gonna see him today. But I think he might be among the attacking returns in the upcoming game weeks, and that is something. That is something something of a huge boost for Manchester United. With now Ronaldo gone, I think that Rashford would be one of those players who might be among the attacking returns for Manchester United, and he might be one of the player who we can say Eric Ten Hag would actually base his system around him, and Martial would be main players because they are the players with great creativity and attacking tendency. Rashford obviously has been a good player. The injuries so far he has had made his career go a little bit downhill, but we know the quality he has, and we've seen that in the World Cup. Saka definitely stays in. I've switched him for Martinelli, and he did repay me. Obviously Martinelli scored a goal too, but Saka looked pretty brilliant. He got the first goal that was an offside, but he then scored again. And with Saka, I'm pretty satisfied that I've got the Arsenal's attack covered. Saka looked brilliant in the World Cup too. He was brilliant before that, and he's a little bit on the corners. And as for till the point Jesus is away, I think away from training, away from the team, I think Saka would be on the penalties. And so yeah, that is good to have a penalty taker in your side that is an 8 million midfielder and is among the attacking returns. Now Almiron, obviously he has been a top-notch pick for me. Every time I've played him since I brought him in, he has been among the attacking returns, and what a goal he scored. That was I wouldn't say he's just having a good patch. He has genuinely turned into a good attacker. As for FPL, a good midfielder, he has been among the attacking returns, and that is not a fluke. He did score a brilliant goal, and I would say I'd keep Almiron versus Leeds at home. KDB is yet to play in game week 17. We'd see how he plays, but definitely a player like KDB, there are absolutely no doubts on him. He would be among the attacking returns, linking up with Haaland, Foden, and all the other players that they have. KDB is a top-notch player who pulls out masterclass from anywhere. Now, apart from that international stuff that he had a bad patch in, I think KDB is a hold because of the double game weeks that are coming up. Obviously, if you got Salah, I'd say he's an equally good player. He got 2 goals. Obviously, I had Salah in one of my drafts that I discussed with you, and I wanted to bring him in, but yeah, then I just I thought that I was overthinking a lot. Let's just let Salah go, keep KDB, and cover the Liverpool's Liverpool's attack with with the likes of Darwin Nunez. And yeah, I would come on to Darwin Nunez at the end when we're going to talk about the strikers. But right now, this would be my midfield. Obviously, you can guess it would be a 3-4-3. I have currently shown you my defenders and my midfielders. Obviously, Andres is on the bench. If any of those players might not feature in that game, Andres would come in. He's expected to be on the pens. At least that is what I've heard. Mitrovic obviously is on 4 yellow, so when he's missing, I definitely start Andreas. But for now, I'd keep him on the bench, and he might be among the attacking returns because every time he's on the bench, he is among the attacking returns. Now that was for the midfielders. Now let's look at the forwards, starting with Martial, who is still yet to play. He faces Wolves away, and in game week 18 he hasn't played in 17 yet, so we might look at we might still judge him today after he plays his game in game week 17. But Wolves are defensively shaky, and I personally think United would hurt them bad, definitely, and specifically on the counter attacks. Now Haaland stays in. He faces Everton. We know how good of a player he is. He's a machine when it comes to scoring goals, and Haaland is one of those strikers. You just put the ball onto his feet, and he's gonna get you a goal out of nowhere. Now, speaking about goals, Darwin Nunez has been allergic to them. He's avoiding scoring goals, but the thing with him is that I do not have the right words for him, but we've seen him. He gets into some amazing positions. I've seen this with Suarez. I'm a Barcelona fan. I've seen that similar thing with Suarez. Obviously, Suarez was a top-notch finisher during his prime, but he used to get in some brilliant positions to get the goal. And similar is the case with Darwin Nunez. He's got the pace. He's got the pace to do it. He's got the positioning to do it. The only thing he lacks is the finishing in the third half. Now, my advice would be to still hold on to Darwin Nunez. He's got good fixtures ahead. Now, previous 2 games were pretty messed up as regarding his finishing, but he was into great positions, and a striker getting those much chances is obviously a delight for someone who plays FPL and owns a striker like Darwin Nunez. Obviously, we want him for the attacking returns, not for the positioning. That wouldn't favor us in any way. But I'd say Darwin Nunez is a hold for at least 2 or 3 game weeks. We'd analyze and see how things go ahead with him. if he fails us in in the next 2-3 games, obviously there is a possibility or a probability you might downgrade him and upgrade someone like Rashford to Salah if you've got the bench. I've got a good team value. I've still got 1.6 million in the bank, so yeah, I might consider that at some point, but for now I'd still keep Darwin Nunez. He was all right on the pitch. He got the man of the match, which was obviously a surprise. I wasn't sure who was he competing with in that game. I've seen the likes of Lukaku, Lautaro Martinez, and I'd placed Darwin Nunez in that list for now. But we'll see how things turn out for him. Jokes apart, I think he's a pretty nice player. He just needs to work on his finishing, and hopefully we might see that the positions he gets in is still something we must appreciate that, and we'll see how Darwin Nunez works out in the upcoming game weeks. If hopefully he gets those attacking returns that we really want. Now, looking at the captain, I've given it to Erling Haaland. Obviously, there are other options too. If I want to, I can go for Almiron. If I wanted to go for a differential, Darwin Nunez, a huge differential, which is risky. Obviously risky. Looking at his current form, KDB, a safe pick for me, and obviously Kieran Trippier, who might be among those differentials too. Not a huge one, but still a differential. So for now, it rests on Erling Haaland. Hopefully, you guys agree with me on the captaincy option. Let me know what are your plans for Game Week 18. Who are your captaincy options? And let me know if you are intending to hold Darwin Nunez or not. And if you are about to sell him, who are you looking at? So this is currently it from my side. Kindly do subscribe to the channel. I've got like 5 or 4 subscribers short from 700. It would be a huge help to me. Please do like the video, share it, and do your magic, do whatever to get me the reach. Hopefully we'd grow more and more as the season goes, and obviously there would be Champions League fantasy content on the channel. So this is it for now. Let me know your plans in the comments below, and please take care. Bye.